Yeah, I have no idea what we should do for an intro. Matt, I'm going to punt this one to you. You need to figure it out.
Yeah, I just really have no idea. Jeff, I'm going to punt this off to you.
Oh, shoot, I muffed it.
Well, let's just get into the Beer Crack Player of the Week. Beer Crack Player of the Week, Presley Harvin, because our offense couldn't do anything.
Hey, does he count as an offensive player?
No, he's a special teams player. All right, let's go over our big boy Kickalicious' stats for last week's game.
So last week he had 4 punts for an average of 51.5 yards with a long of 69. That is not including the touchback. That if he would have actually landed on the 1 yard line, would have been longer than 69 yards, I do believe. But he
He was our only bright spot of offense by being able to move the field.
Yeah. And when he kicked that one that went in, that was a touchback, I was like, did we get a new punter?
Well, yeah, I mean, really last year we gave Matt shit all week for it. Every week for it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this was us, this was us just kind of, I guess this is us eating our words from last season.
Yeah. Last year, so Matt was all about him last year.
He was supposed to do this.
Well, you just had to shake the rookie rust off.
Yeah.
The rookie rust.
Mm-hmm.
Do new cars come with rust?
Depends where you get it.
That's where you get it. What kind of backwoods car are you buying?
I ain't buying ones, but I've seen ones. People, I guess you got a brand new car. I'm like, brand new to you.
Well, that's called free agency. This is off the line.
I mean, not gonna lie, this picture right here just looks like I had too many beers and I had a beer gut.
It is pretty sad though when we choose the first non-defensive player for Beer Crack Player of the Week, and it's our punter.
I do believe he made a tackle this week too, so I mean, it does make him defensive.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, whatever you say.
Yeah. But speaking of people that that we hated on last year, I have someone that I hated on last year, and I still don't like him. Matt Canada. Bye. Because I'm sorry. Oh, Roethlisberger's the problem. We don't get along. We don't understand each other's systems. Well, guess what? Everyone said Mitch was the solution. And, well, I don't think you guys are on the same page either.
No.
So,
I think there's a lot more going on the offensive side of the ball than just what players can do and play calling. I don't think Najee Harris trusts the offensive line. I think the offensive line's playing better than anybody thought. I don't think Matt Canada trusts the offensive line. I think people need to start trusting the offensive line.
I think that we need a different offensive coordinator. Like the quarterback's coach needs to start calling plays. Like Mitch will not audible because I don't think he wants to go against Canada's plan.
He's probably not allowed to.
Yeah, he's probably not allowed to. He's not Ben Roethlisberger. Ben would just – we saw last year when Ben was just literally – it looked like he was drawing up the plays on his hand. I mean, like, okay,
well, yeah, that's what he would do. He literally would take his cleat and draw a freaking play in the dirt.
Very few quarterbacks are allowed to do that or do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, Mitch is on the field. He's seeing what the formations are. He knows what's going on. Canada's up in the booth, having a drink. Like, he ain't doing shit. He can't even come down the field and coach his own players.
Yeah, and I don't want Kenny Pickett in there getting ruined by Matt Canada.
No, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew the first game that we didn't do anything, we are going to hear Kenny Pickett chants.
So there's rumblings within the organization from players, from coaches, obviously from the fans to fire Matt Canada. This would be Tomlin's first in-season firing of a coordinator.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
See, and the problem is, I feel like, so we fire him, we're just going to promote somebody within.
That's fine. Because you know what? I fully trust every other coach in that team other than Matt Canada. He's the only one on that team that doesn't know what he's doing.
I want somebody like brand new that'll just like revamp the offense.
Well, so the problem is we have a system. Well, we kind of have a system in place.
We don't have a system.
I mean, we're starting over. We should. I feel like I'd love to get an offense where you spread the ball and just go down the field.
So speaking of that, my historical fact of the show for this one is on September 5th, 1906, the first legal forward pass was completed.
Did you hear that, Matt Canada?
Yeah, the forward pass is legal.
Do it.
You can throw the ball down the field. Well, also, I think that has a little bit also to do with Trubisky. I don't know if it was you. I think you said that during the game, Matt, that he was after he threw that pick, he was too worried. He was
afraid. He didn't shake off that pick, and I think he needs to start playing like he has nothing to lose because he's already lost everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing is that honestly, we already know Tomlin's look on the season and his look on the way he's looking at quarterback. With that being said, I mean, they're not going to bench Mitch.
You know who they need to bring in? They need to bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Because Ryan Fitzpatrick can show a quarterback who really doesn't have a home in this league how to go out and ball. How to go out there and sling that football like you don't give a fuck, because what are they going to do? Cut me again?
I mean, yeah. What's he got to lose? Fitzpatrick don't care. He's like the honey badger. You don't give a shit.
I think that's the solution. We got to bring in somebody to just say, dude, you got everything to win and nothing to lose, because you're out of here at the end of the year if you don't do anything.
Can we sign Fitzpatrick just to a one-day motivational contract?
Isn't he like broadcasting, or not broadcasting, but like a night game?
What, Monday Night Football, Thursday night? He's on Thursday Night Football.
Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid Amazon Prime.
I guess we'll see him this week.
Hey, maybe we'll be coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he can give that pep talk.
There we go.
I just did you see? Oh, never mind. I'll come back to that. What was I going to say? I'll circle back. Well, you know what? I'll just bring it up because we're talking about signing one-day contracts. Do you see that Joe Hayden signed he wanted to retire a Brown?
Yeah, and that Schefter reported that he signed with the Steelers first because he's an ass.
I mean,
all right. Anyways,
I mean, he did play most of his years with Cleveland, even though his better years were with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, his better years were with the Browns. He just won a lot more games with the Steelers.
Well, yeah, it's because the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah. But just to circle back to the offensive coordinator, I just have it's a long shot to happen, but Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs. Everyone has him being a head coach. He's not getting any head coach opportunities, I think partly because they think Andy Reid's calling the offense and really covering for him. So maybe he takes a year to go to a team that has a bad offense but a ton of skill position players and show that he can do it. And that way he can kind of leapfrog that into a head coaching job.
Yeah.
It's a long shot, but I'm just throwing it out there in case somebody else hears it and knows Eric Bieniemy.
So
if you know Eric Bieniemy, get him this tape.
Yep.
Tape. What am I, from the 30s?
The tape.
30s. Yeah. So.
Oh, there wasn't even tape in the 30s.
Get the old slide projector out.
Yeah.
Click. Well, speaking of other offensive opportunities, I was reading an article today that said so Pickens has actually been, when he's on the field and he's playing, he has been open 80% of the time, and Mitch doesn't get to him in the progression.
Did Pickens say that Pickens was open 80% of the time, or?
No, this is actually, I guess they look back at game film and they actually start looking at it. I was watching, I forget what press conference it was, but it was with Mitch, and one of the reporters were like, they started pulling stats out of their ass, and they're like, did you know that Pickens has been open on 80% of the plays that he's been on? He's like, honestly, I don't have enough time to get through my progression to be able to, and he doesn't see all the receivers. And I'm like, if Pickens is open this much, which we know the guy's an aggressive player, we know the guy will go out and get the ball, and we know the guy can run. Like, those are 3 reasons why you should probably check him a little bit earlier. And I get it. The progression's the progression. He's gonna go down. But it's one of those things where that might really open up the down the field passing game if he just pays Pickens just a little more.
Well, if Mitch is saying he can't go through his progressions, and he's getting to that check down real quick.
Yeah, is that his first? Is that his first?
That's his first one.
Yeah.
What's Najee doing?
Then you need to start putting in. I don't want to see Freiermuth as a blocker because I like him as a receiver, but put an extra tight end in. Put Derek Watt in. Put Connor Hayward in. Leave Najee in the backfield. Put Jalen Warren in because he's a better running back than Najee Harris at this point. Leave somebody back there to help block because when you have 6 blockers, guess what? You have more time. And when you have blockers that can run, you can kind of move the pocket. You can do all those bootleg actions.
Yep.
So if the receivers are open and Mitch is saying he don't have time, then you can move the pocket or add blockers.
Well, plus also if we were to do 2 tight ends and have, and just have them do a chip block on each side or something like that, where they're just getting someone a little off center, it buys us an extra couple of seconds, which is all we need.
Leave them in the block, and if someone runs past them, then you tell them to run 2 yards and turn.
Yeah.
Then people aren't as mad about a check down because it's going to open you up for that downfield play.
I will say I felt that Freiermuth had a couple drops this last week that were kind of crucial.
I felt like a couple receivers had a couple drops that, the defense was playing close and playing real press coverage, but they should have caught those passes.
Yeah. So part of me thinks, I don't know if you guys agree, but do you think we had a little bit of like a winner's high from week 1? Yeah, I get it. It was not a great win, but like for being a team that is in a rebuilding phase and we're still putting things together, when you win week 1, I'm not going to say that we lost this week because of Watt not being there. Honestly, I don't think that had anything to do with it.
I think this is a classic Tomlin move. He got everybody hyped for week 1 because he wanted to kick the Bengals' ass. So did everyone wanted to kick the Bengals' ass.
And what did we do last year? We beat the Bills.
Yeah, we beat the Bills and then we shit the bed.
Yeah.
But we lost Watt. So same deal. But we come out, try our hardest to win, and then I think it might have been a combination of we tried so hard week 1, and then it's like, all right, take your foot off the gas completely. It's like you got to put it in cruise after that. You can't take your foot off the gas. You'll come to a stop. But I think we also looked ahead to the Browns.
Yeah.
The Patriots didn't play well week 1.
Yeah.
We kind of slept on them. We were coming off a winner's high, slept on our opponent, and then we were looking ahead to our next opponent because they were playing good.
We're still number 1 in the division just because the rest of the division decided to shit the bed this week. And because we have that divisional win over Cincy, we're still number 1.
Yeah. Speaking of shit in bed.
Yeah.
Don't
follow my locks of the week.
I have a request from a viewer to go over this. So just let me pull it up. If you guys want to take a drink, just hang out, wait for this. Just want to talk about this with you here.
Oh God.
I know this is a little weird. At least we're in the same order, but let's just go with this, and I'll stop it every now and then and just.
Did I get every single one wrong? Is that where we're at?
I didn't look too closely at some of them. No, you got some of them right, but then the ones where you were saying the spread, I didn't really look into the spread or the points or anything like that. I just know who won and lost. So we'll just go into this. Hold on a second.
Yeah, so Washington plays Detroit. Why Washington is the underdog here? Detroit lost. They played a good game against the Eagles, but nothing that says the Commanders aren't going to win this game. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, apparently everything said the Commanders.
Everything said that the Commanders were not going to win that game.
To be fair, I
fell apart harder than their stadium.
What'd you say?
Me? I said, to be fair, I picked the Lions on that one.
And what'd you say, Matt?
I said the Commanders fell apart harder than their stadium.
Yeah. So that's one. You want to keep tally, Jeff? That's one wrong.
Yep.
Scrolling down a little bit, we got Saints Bucks. Like I said, Saints
All right.
Bucks numbers.
I'm pissed about this one.
Hold on.
Every year, bet on the Saints.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Saints were going to win that game till Tom Brady put the fix in with the refs and got Lattimore ejected. Mike Evans should have been out of there, but you can't get rid of the defensive player for running his mouth and then getting tackled. Mike Evans should have got ejected. Lattimore didn't really do anything to actually get ejected. Screw that.
That's two that Matt was
was in right after that.
Still wrong.
Yep, still wrong.
Also, Jameis Winston wasn't supposed to break every bone in his body, and shit, that was a bad week for the Saints.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have won that game.
All right, moving on.
As underdogs, I like seeing the Steelers as an underdog. I don't bet on Steelers money lines, but
that was good advice.
When we're the underdog, it seems like it works out better in our favor.
That wasn't.
Nope.
That's
three.
Yeah, but I said don't bet on them.
You said you don't bet on them.
Indianapolis, Jacksonville. I already said Jacksonville hasn't lost in Jacksonville since 2014. Is this the week that it changes? It might be.
Nope.
It wasn't. Matter of fact, it was a shutout.
Well, I didn't realize Matt Ryan was going to go full fourth quarter from the get-go. I mean, he took everything from Carson Wentz's soul and the last 8 minutes of a Super Bowl and just put it all together and just was like, this is my time to show everyone I'm the worst.
Oh man!
I wanted to check. I wasn't sure what the score was. I knew it was in the 20s, but I wanted to see if it
All
was
right.
28-0.
Next one, Dolphins Ravens. I said that was going to go way over.
Upset special here. I'm not taking them, but the Dolphins could beat the Ravens. We're all going to be rooting for that. They're discounting the Seahawks a lot.
Yep.
You were right on that one. So what is it? 4?
Well, no. He wasn't completely right. He said Dolphins could beat the Ravens, but he's not taking it.
Yeah, but he did say that they could beat the Ravens.
But then he said he's not taking it, so therefore his pick was not was.
I'll give it to him.
All right.
Oh my God, I had a bad week.
I'll give you 3.5.
They just put up a big game against Denver. So I would take the points on that one.
Yeah,
they're probably going to cover that spread.
We can just get to the real bad take.
And then this is the next game is my lock of the week. Bengals Cowboys -340. Cowboys don't have a damn team. I would buy points on this because they're probably going to win by at least 7.
You know what? Just stop this.
The week,
Cooper Rush. Mitch Trubisky needs to play like Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush must have talked to Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he was like, just go out there and wing the ball. And he was like, fuck it, might as well. Mitch Trubisky, play like Cooper Rush. Probably not Cooper Rush next week. He'll probably shit the bed because, everything comes down.
Yeah.
Life savings on this one because it's going to pay. All right.
Also, I'm going to need a second job.
I'm really glad that I didn't listen to you. You said put all your life savings, and I said, all right, I'll do that. I talked to Ellie, and she said I couldn't do that, so I'm glad I listened to her.
Yeah.
Still has faith in Russell Wilson and not blow it, so I would take the points for Houston. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right.
How'd that one turn out?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, history, boy. Look at the history.
History, last week's history.
Yeah, it's in the past. It's history. Keep going.
If you're looking for some type of upset, but I feel like there's a lot of other upsets around, I'd probably take the over on this though.
Denver did win.
Yeah, but what was the score?
16-9, Denver.
So they covered.
Yeah. So you were right.
Told you the Texans would cover.
Congratulations, Matt. You're like 1-5.
That's 2.
1.5.
1.5 and 5.
No, sorry, 1.5 and 4.5.
What's 4.5?
Well, if I'm taking a half of a win, I got to take a half of a loss.
Yeah.
God, come on.
Or are we just going to play this the real way? So you're 1-1-4.
Green Bay's gonna. Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears.
So no matter what, Aaron Rodgers will own the Bears.
See, that was an easy take.
He always.
Yeah, there you go. That was
2-1-4, Matt. 2-1-4.
Week 1's always trash. Week 2's always better. Keep her moving. Titans suck, so Titans couldn't beat the fucking Giants, so why would they beat the Bills?
Yeah.
Actually, did you know the Bills have beat their opponents for the first 2 weeks 72-17?
Yeah, did you know the Titans suck so bad that they benched their quarterback at the start of the fourth quarter?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I called that one right.
There you go, Matt. You're 3-1-4.
Hey, you're not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, I said the Titans suck and the Bills will win. That counts as 2.
You gonna get to 500?
No.
That's one take. That's one take.
No, because
That's another upset special there for me. I don't know why they have the Vikings. You think that would be a push? At the very least, a push.
Now I know why, because the Vikings suck.
You forgot that it was a night game, a primetime game. Kirk
You know, I was sitting there and I was like, why does Kirk Cousins sucks? And I was like, oh, because it's Monday Night Football. And Kirk Cousins can't do anything on Monday night.
So 3-1-5 for you, Matt.
But you know what? I'm keeping the dream alive. I'm never going to quit until I'm completely broke, and then I'll take a loan. Also, I did hit on the prop bets of Deontay Johnson and Pat Freiermuth.
Oh, I didn't pull those up. I'm sorry. I was just going off of that.
Was one of them how Najee actually has less yards rushing than what Joe Burrow has in sack yards?
I also called that. How many yards did Najee Harris end up with? Does anybody know?
Not off the top of my head. Yeah, Najee Harris had 49 rushing yards.
Which is less than 52 and a half. So
I
hit on all 3 Steelers prop bets.
So maybe you should just stick with the prop bets and not the team bets.
Screw that. You guys want to get into some bets?
Sure.
All right, let's get into some
completely
bets.
done with last week for now. Completely done for now.
I think we're on to Cleveland.
We're on to Cleveland.
We're on to Cleveland.
All right, let's get into week 3 bets. All right, we got Steelers Browns. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'll talk about prop bets because I could do that, but I'm not going to jinx anything without who's going to win or lose.
All right, we can talk about the prop bets after you get through this.
All right. We got Ravens Patriots. I mean, I could see this being a low-scoring game. Ravens have put up big numbers 2 weeks in a row. Usually they cool off at teams who put up a lot of numbers typically cool off the next week.
So in other words, take the over.
Be an asshole. Yes, take the over. Bills Dolphins. You can shit on me all you want, but you might as well take the Dolphins because really, the Bills got to lose a game at some point. Maybe they're cocky.
No, they'll go undefeated until the Super Bowl. It's their fashion. They can't
I would definitely take the Dolphins to cover.
Yeah.
I
think that's going to be a high-scoring affair right there.
That's a tough one. I could see it crashing. Once again, teams who score a lot of points the week before typically have a down week the next week.
Yeah, well, the Bills didn't.
Yeah, the Bills just keep building. They're getting bigger with their margins.
But every team eventually crashes back down.
Eventually.
And I could see this being a crash week. If you're feeling risky, take the Dolphins. Who knows? It's in Miami. Buffalo's not used to the heat.
True.
Yeah,
They could have been staying at the Patriots hotel. I don't know. Taking lessons from Oliver Kraft. I don't know. You just don't know. It could be a trap game for Buffalo.
It could be.
So what you're saying is it's Buffalo's game to lose.
It's Buffalo's games to lose, but I think Tua's pissed. And they're gonna tank so hard. This game's gonna be like 50-0 and get taken off TV. Because I'm gonna talk up the Dolphins. Like I'm just going with the Dolphins here. I'll be bold. That's my bold pick of the week.
Oh no,
we're not.
I'm gonna change how that word works here. All right, let's keep her moving. Nothing real special at the Saints and Panthers game. Alvin Kamara's back, so Saints probably win.
I dropped him in fantasy, so yeah, he'll probably
You dropped Alvin Kamara?
Well, I think he's at least on my bench.
I'll be back for a second. Hold on.
No, I'll be back for a second too.
Yeah, hold up a minute.
I think he's on my bench.
If you dropped him, we're not gonna be able to pick him up right away.
It's all right.
I didn't drop him. I would have dropped him yesterday. No, he's on my bench. He's listed as questionable though.
Oh, you son of a bee.
Man, you got us all excited.
Anyways. All right. Chiefs Colts. Yeah, fucking Colts will probably win this one. I take the over.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take the over because
Mahomes will cover the 50.5 on his own.
the Chiefs are gonna put up points. Pittman's gonna be back for the Colts. I think that's a really big. I did not realize Pittman was not gonna play last week. I didn't know he was injured.
Yeah.
So I think the Colts are gonna play a little bit better and get some points. They still probably lose. They probably don't even cover that spread. Moving on. So I'll take the Chiefs spread.
Okay.
Detroit versus the Vikings. Who the fuck knows? Take Detroit, man.
I'm right.
Oh wait, hold on. It's 1:00. Never mind. Vikings all day.
No, Detroit. I'm taking the Detroit wagon on this one.
That's kind of scroll back up to that other game. Oh yeah, that's like taking the Dolphins. Could happen.
What?
I looked at my phone. Don't worry about it.
Are you saying taking the Colts is more like taking the Dolphins?
Scroll the Lions and Vikings.
What?
The Lions plus 205, the Dolphins plus 210. 50-50 shot. You don't know because you don't know which Vikings team's going to show up.
You don't know which Lions team's going to show up.
The kneecap biting one.
Look,
you know exactly what Lions team's showing up.
Look, the Lions are good for at least 35 points. Whether or not they'll win, that's the question mark.
I take the
I'm taking
the Lions, man. Go for the Lions. Believe in the hard knocks. Believe in the kneecap biting.
All right, Jeff, go ahead. Take Detroit.
Literally, I did take Detroit.
You put money on it?
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You take Detroit.
No, but I did take him in our Pick'em league. So,
but yeah, Minnesota probably wins. Anyways, I do think I would take any Detroit Lions over. I think they know how to throw the ball down the field to kind of get back into games and stay relevant. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I would take the over on that. Eagles Commanders. Who the hell knows what kind of the NFC East sucks.
I think Carson Wentz is going to come back and make Eagles fans hate him even more.
No, I think the Eagles are going to win.
Nah, I think Commanders got this one.
I think the Eagles are just playing too damn good.
Is that a bad thing, or like you think they're going to like mess up here soon, or you're just?
I don't like Eagles fans, so
I never said you were going to root for them. I didn't say I was rooting for them. I just said I think they're going to win.
Look, they get cocky too quick. You know, they score one touchdown and think they got the best damn team.
Well, they have to sing that whole song every time.
Oh, I know.
It's
such a terrible song.
I know. You know,
it's so long. You know what our song is? Here we go. It's done. It's over.
That's it. Done.
If you want to do the long version, it's Here We Go Steelers.
Here we go.
We're done. We still done. They would still be singing the first verse.
Yeah. And if we make the playoffs, you just go Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Like You know, but that's as long as it gets. It's not this whole, you know.
You have to make the playoffs before you can say that. And for how much we jinx shit, you have to win the Super Bowl to then say we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Eagles
Raiders
piss me off again and probably win that game. Raiders Titans. Will the Titans get their shit together?
Probably not.
Nope.
I think they're really missing AJ Brown.
Oh yeah.
I think they are. Traylon Burks is getting better. Ryan Tannehill might be pissed. This could be an upset.
Nah.
All right, look. We all know the Raiders like to party. I'm not a big Josh McDaniels fan. And as I found out, you can definitely party in Nashville. And it costs a lot.
Yeah. Your budgeting is about as good as your betting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I think Titans can win this game. I think the Titans. They got to win a game at some point. I think this might be it. Mike Vrabel's not a bad coach.
I'm taking
Derrick Henry's still a good running back.
Taking the Raiders.
I'm going Titans here.
Carter Adams, man.
All right, Titans. Moving on. Texans Bears. Who the hell knows? That's a push if I've ever seen it. So take the Texans spread.
Hey, Lovie Smith coming back to coach against the Bears.
Yeah.
Take the Texans spread. Plus 2.5. Take it all day. Bengals Jets.
Oh,
Bengals get a win here. They got to win at some point.
Nope. Taking the Jets.
Nah, they got to win at some point. Jaguars Charge. You want to scroll down at all? Or?
No.
Okay.
You can't see it?
It's like every game at 1 o'clock this Sunday. Holy crap.
Yeah, I think there's 9 games at 1 o'clock. Jaguars Chargers. Justin Herbert broke his ribs, tried to pick up a quarterback. Jeff picked up 2. Kind of screwed me. Tried to pick up Tua. Jeff had
I got Tua?
Yeah. This is what happens during the week when we record. We're not ready.
Yeah, this is
wait, as opposed to when we record in the end of the week when we're still
at least we know who's on our fantasy team.
Oh, look at that. Huh. I did get him. I actually was starting Carson Wentz.
Why do you gotta? You're a douche.
Wait, what? You have 2 quarterbacks? You have 4. Who'd you drop?
He dropped his quarterbacks.
I dropped all my quarterbacks.
You just talk shit about the Commanders. Oh no, I talk shit about the Commanders.
You talk shit on the Commanders. I took them to win.
I was like, I'm pretty sure Jeff took the Commanders.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. What do we got? Chargers, Jaguars? Take the fucking Chargers. Parlay that with something else. Parlay that with
the next game. Falcons, Seahawks.
Dude, you really think the Falcons are that bad?
No, they're not actually that bad.
You know what? They're in Seattle, so yeah, take Seattle.
Nah, I think Seattle blows it.
I'm not. You know what? Seattle might be tanking hard.
You picked. I do believe week 1.
I think they came out and were like, "Fuck Russell Wilson. Let's go get us the first round pick."
You picked Seattle to be the last winless team.
Yeah, well, that blew up in my face just like every other bet I make.
Wait, did they win?
Yeah, they
won week 1.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay. They kicked Russell Wilson's ass.
That's right.
They showed how much Russell Wilson pissed off the city of Seattle, which I didn't know could get pissed off. I thought they were usually just like depressed because it rains all the time.
Is that why the stadium's so loud? Because the clouds just hang over top and
the clouds. It holds the humidity in too, so they're like sweating and getting mad because there's some like super fat guy next to him. Anyways, like every time, just like sweating on them, and you're like, "Is it rain or sweat? Is it rain or just say it's rain? Just say it's rain."
All right, moving on.
Yeah, we're gonna keep moving on. Packers Bucks. How much?
I got a good bet for this one. Can we bet Tom Brady plus over under? He breaks 3 tablets. I'm taking the over.
He only breaks 1 tablet a game because then they stopped giving him tablets.
Yeah.
No Mike Evans because he's a doucher.
Yeah, it's kind of Brady's fault.
Yeah, well, they're both D-bags. Anyways, it's in Tampa. It's a real toss-up. I mean, you might want to take the over. You might want to take the over on this one. I'd probably take the over.
Bucks defense is pretty good. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but the Bucks offense has not been good.
Well, no, because I think isn't Godwin out too?
If Godwin's out, don't take the over. If Godwin plays, take the over. There you go. I'll start putting injury stipulations in.
If only they still had Antonio Brown, they might have a shot.
I'll update it more on Sunday morning, and maybe we'll actually post it this time.
Of course, you never know. Antonio Brown just might put the uniform on and walk on the field, do the opposite thing he did last time. So,
all right, moving on. Keep scrolling. All right, we got Rams Cardinals. Cardinals came back last week, but they were on the road and they play better on the road. Rams are going to win this one. They suck at home.
All right.
Niners Broncos.
Niners Garoppolo rocks.
I was going to say that fucked me last week. I was expecting a Trey Lance Niners who just shit the bed, but he bows out early so a real quarterback can play. Yeah, Niners all day here. Especially since Russell Wilson sucks.
All right, what do you think if Garoppolo takes them to the Super Bowl? What do they do?
I think they're so invested in Trey Lance that they like Nick Foles his ass and get rid of him because they're just too damn stupid. I don't think the Niners are capable of understanding what Jimmy G is. And that is called a capable quarterback that, as long as you have a team around him, will take you to the Super Bowl. His only time he didn't go to the Super Bowl is when he tears his ACL or misses 9 games. And yeah, okay, he's injury prone every other year. But every other year, he gives you a Super Bowl run.
So you don't have to worry about it next year. He'll be injured next year. Take a season off.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right.
Last team. Cowboys Giants. I think Cooper Rush mania ends. I think the Giants are playing really good football. Also, it's actually a push.
It's crazy what a different coach does for a team.
Yeah. It's maybe.
I know a coach that could have a different team.
Does his name start with the same name as somebody on the show?
Yeah, and his last name is a country. I heard the Browns are hiring.
Are the Browns hiring?
Well, I mean,
or just because we're playing them?
Well, they're a little broke right now since they overpaid for a lot of people.
A lot of people?
Mostly one.
Just one person.
I was gonna say, did all the massage therapists come with them?
All right, you want to talk about the prop bets?
Yeah, prop bets. I'm gonna start against the Browns here.
We didn't do Monday night.
Cowboys Giants. I said the Giants will win. We talked about new coach.
I didn't see that underneath. Denver, San Francisco is really Sunday night.
Well, Dallas, New York is really Monday night.
That's at least our division rival.
That's true.
The hell is going on with Sunday night?
It's because Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, Trey Lance was taking the reins. They were going to be good. Then Trey Lance broke his ankle, so the Niners could be good. Because Trey Lance he's a bust. That's
gonna be a whole show. Oh, here's a guy that only plays playing his first game of the season.
All right.
Anyway.
We're going to start with some rushing prop bets for the Steelers game. Nick Chubb, 84.5 yards. Running backs on Thursday nights typically underperform.
He did have a pretty good week last week. So
he had a big game last week. He had a good. You're going to see a little bit more Kareem Hunt. You're going to see a little bit more third string running back. I don't know who the third string running back is at the moment. They're going to give him more of a rest. It's a little early in the season, but I don't think he gets 84.5 yards. Also, our run defense has been better. And I think we're going to try and make him throw it.
Except at the end of the game last week.
I was going to say,
we fell apart at the end.
Yeah.
But again, that's our team. That's our defense being gassed at the end.
Yeah.
Because our offense can't do anything. And maybe there's a fire under Mitch's ass to throw the goddamn ball and maybe keep a drive alive. And I think Najee Harris got called out a little bit for, doing his little stutter step dance in the backfield every time instead of just running straight.
He's trying to be like Bell.
Yeah, don't be like Bell. You don't have that good of an offensive line. You can't wait for a hole to open up. You got to take whatever hole you got. Mitch Trubisky, 12.5 yards rushing.
I'll take it.
Over. Take the over. You just got to break the pocket one time to get 12 yards.
Well, yeah, for him, I think he had more yards than that last week.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be trying a little bit harder because I think he feels the pressure. So I would take that on the over. Receiving props, Deontay Johnson at 56.5. Just keep taking that until they raise it up above 60. Freiermuth 34.5. He's Trubisky's pretty much favorite target at this point. He consistently gets chances. So keep taking Freiermuth. And they clearly have no intentions of pulling him into block, so
which is good.
All right, passing props. 191 for Trubisky and 181 for Brissett. I don't have any real comment about that. That is just a pathetic ass stat line that they're projecting for this game. So good luck staying awake. Make sure you drink some energy drinks before the game starts, because if that holds true, this is going to be a really slow game.
It's going to be a 9-6 game.
Yep. Najee Harris at 54.5 yards. Yeah, take the under. Anything under 50. Because he's going to keep doing that stupid stutter step, and I think Jaylen Warren has earned some reps, which is going to take away some carries. And then most of his yards came in receptions last week. Oh, I mean, he got more receptions than yards, but, So he's more of a receiving prop. Which, by the way, his receiving prop is 17.5. I would hit that.
Oh, yeah. I'd definitely take that.
17.5. He's probably going to have 17.5 receptions.
And a half receptions.
Yeah, because that one that he drops to win the game.
Okay.
Touchdown scorers. One that I will maintain that I got right from last week, because I said it week 1, is you always take Freiermuth to score a touchdown. Who scored a touchdown? Freiermuth.
But the first week he didn't.
I said every week it'll pay in the long run. You make a consistent bet every week. Pat Freiermuth is plus 300. Take it. I don't know why they discount him so hard. He's probably the most likely to score a touchdown on the Steelers all season.
I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be Pickens' game.
You think this is a Pickens game?
I think it's gonna be.
He's hoping because his
over under is 29.5.
Over.
Well, I would hope so if you think it's going to be his game.
I'm going 2 touchdowns and 110 yards.
He doesn't get the playing time. I think they're going to have to. We have an advantage with Javion Clowney being out.
Thursday night is where you see rookies because they don't play all the downs. And the veteran players are going to be gassed. Not gassed, but they'll be, they'll want a couple more reps off, and they're going to start seeing some of the rookies come in.
We don't have an old receiving core.
I'm just saying. This is Pickens' game.
Okay.
And there's nothing special about that prediction.
Maybe the person that asked me to replay some tape from last week for this week will ask me to replay this.
Hey, I called out the defense week 1. Telling you right here, Pickens' game.
You didn't really call out Pickens. You just said he's going to have a game. You need to call him out.
I think Jaylen Warren. He's if you play daily fantasy, maybe throw him in. If you're doing a Thursday night special, throw him in. I think he's going to get some more chances. He's got a high potential for a low cost.
Yep.
So, do we want to go on to what we want to see from this next week's game or tomorrow's night's game? Today's game.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Whatever day you're
I want to see a pass over the middle. I know I have very low standards to Pickens.
To Pickens.
Yep, to Pickens. To Pickens.
to Pickens.
Yeah, I just want to see an offense that doesn't totally blow dick, like that acts like they know what they're supposed to do.
Like they don't get in the huddle, and Mitch is like, I don't know. This
I
voice
feel
in
like
my
they
head
get in the
don't make
huddle, and he's like, "Did you say dump it off again?" They hate me for that.
They're trying to change the play right now.
I want to see Najee Harris. I want to see him lose that stutter step. If you see him run on the first play of the game and he doesn't stutter step and just hits the hole, do a live bet to take the over because he figured it out that you can just run. I constantly see him make bad reads. He tries to bounce it outside when he has no shot of bouncing outside, and when there is a defender waiting for him at the line, he tries to run him over. I don't think he's actually looking. I think he's predetermining where to go, and then he's doing it. He's just misreading it.
Yeah.
He needs to loosen up a little bit. Hopefully that's something that'll get better as he plays. Get a little more warmed up in the season.
I want to see Trubisky play like Cooper Rush. He needs to play like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Just play. I mean, part of that is he's like the quarterback after Ben Roethlisberger. So I feel like that's enough pressure on him. But then he's also got the fans. If he messes up one time, call him for Pickett.
And I said that last year before the draft, that if we draft Pickens, we'll end up in a shitty quarterback situation.
You mean Pickett?
Pickett. I also wasn't a fan of drafting Pickens.
Yeah.
Should have drafted some offensive linemen.
Yeah. So, I was really happy with the Trubisky pickup. And I also wanted Pickett, but I knew if we got both of them, I feel like it's happening now already. It's only week 2.
Yeah, and I really think we could have avoided that if you really wanted to draft Pickett and not like an offensive lineman or something.
And you know what? I saw this. I was on Facebook, looking through all the comments and stuff. And one of the comments I read, they were like, "So let's say we put Pickett in, and he just has a horrible game. Anyone rooting for Rudolph?"
No.
And everyone was like, "No one wants Rudolph." So it's like you don't just keep switching your quarterback out.
Well, here's what we do, because we have an opportunity here. If Trubisky sucks this game, what he does next week in week 4 is he comes out against the Jets in the first quarter, and we call a bootleg play. And Mitch Trubisky's going to be running, and he's going to be running, and he's going to go to throw, and he's going to go, oh, my God, oh, but hear me, oh, and he's going to hobble off. And then you let Pickett come into the game. No pressure. Because if he sucks, you can be like, oh, Mitch is good. Yeah, if Pickett comes in and he throws a fucking pick 6, you're like, all right, he ain't fucking ready. Then you take him back out. If he does really good, then you let him. Then you just keep letting him play. You play the hot hand. It opens you into the door of playing the hot hand. And then Mitch can save some face and be like, oh, I got hurt. Give him the Tyrod Taylor treatment.
Puncture his lung?
No, Tyrod Taylor has a history of being just unlucky as shit.
Okay.
It's happened everywhere he's gone. If you have Tyrod Taylor as a backup quarterback, you're about to start a rookie quarterback for the rest of the year.
Damn it. Why didn't we get Tyrod Taylor?
I think I brought that up last year.
It's really hard for him to speak. He's still catching up on breathing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Trubisky takes a fall if he sucks. If he does absolutely nothing against the Browns, have him take a fall against the Jets. And that way Pickett gets an easy intro.
So I want to see one more thing. I want to see the offense have a beer crack player of the week next week.
Pickens.
I don't care who it is.
I'm hoping it's Trubisky.
I'm hoping it's Pickens.
We'll see.
That means Trubisky had a good game. If it's Pickens.
I hope Trubisky has the beer crack. I'm trying to crack a beer for you, Trubisky.
I will say, in addition to saying that it's Pickens' game, the defense needs to come out with that week one power. And I get it, we don't have Watt. But
yeah, I mean, our defense did. I mean, our defense kept us in the game.
I mean, Mika got a pick. We didn't do anything with it. But
we should have just made him the beer crack player of the week and just seen how many times we'd have to put him in as beer crack player.
I was thinking the exact opposite of I don't want to pick Mika every week.
But I just feel like, we went from such a high defensive performance on week one, and then week two, we come out and it's like we completely forgot how to sack the quarterback. Did we even get a sack?
All right, let's circle back to that game.
Yeah.
In the first half of that game, holy holding penalties. I mean, just ripping guys down to the ground and sitting on them. How is that not a penalty? And then it looked like the Patriots' offensive line was blocking good, but no, the guys were our defensive line was just tired.
Well, how many
because
times
they had to fight against fucking holding calls?
How many times did they have a clear false start and they didn't call it?
Oh, I know the tackle.
Their one tackle was jumping almost every play.
It was very
piss poor reffing.
Yeah, we can't just blame the refs though. Come on,
the
refs.
I think the reason we went from 7 sacks to 0 sacks is partly because, I was seeing, I guess you could call it a pancake block, but I call it getting ripped down to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
On Highsmith was getting ripped down to the ground. Mm-hmm. Hayward was just getting taken out of the game. I mean, that pissed me off. But I think Belichick looked at their week one poor performance, and they played a really safe game. They adjusted their play call and not just said the standard is the standard and next man up.
Yeah.
He adjusts. That's the difference between the Steelers and the Patriots.
Well, on a brighter note, they released some Hall of Fame news for selections. And there's a lot of Steelers. 6 Steelers are finalists for the modern era players.
I got about a 45-minute rant about Hines Ward, so
you have a 45-minute rant about Hines Ward?
I can go way off on why he is still not in the Hall of Fame and why it's bullshit.
He's not a very liked player in the league.
Well, it doesn't
Top
matter.
10 wide receiver all time.
Well, here, let's just if we each had to pick 2 players from this list of players, who would you put in and why?
We're picking 2 or 1?
2.
Is that Gary Anderson on the top?
Yes, it is. And that's actually one of my picks. There are not enough kickers in the Hall of Fame, and Gary Anderson, honestly, he was one of the highest scoring players in Steeler history just because he made a lot of kicks. And, he won a lot of games, and he made a lot of kicks. He just belongs in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best kickers in history of the NFL. And then my second player, for as much as I would like to see Hines Ward go into the Hall of Fame, there's obviously a reason he's not in the Hall of Fame right now. And I'm going to go with what?
Because they hate him for no reason.
Well, people love to hate him. I would like to see James Harrison make it. The guy was a defensive player of the year. He has one of the longest plays in Super Bowl history. He almost broke the sack record. He was a very dominant defensive player for a few years, and he's got a good story. I watched his a football life, and it's amazing the struggles he went through in his career to get to where he got to, and the fact that he has as much success as he had. So that's my choices. I would take Gary Anderson and Harrison and James Harrison.
All right, Chris.
Well, I'd go with Casey Hampton, and I'd take Hines Ward. I'm not going to say why. I feel like Matt's takes are going to be pretty good. So,
all right. Well, so I'm going to pick. I would pick Hines Ward, obviously. And then my second player, I'm going to pick Hines Ward because he was a great player. And then my second pick would be Hines Ward because he was a great blocker. And then my third pick, because I'm going to steal a third pick, would be Hines Ward because he had an amazing smile every time he just kicked your ass. Also, because Hines Ward's all one person who should have 3 busts in Canton. But I'll take my second pick, and that'll be Big Snack Casey Hampton because he killed it in the interior. I mean, he took the center, he took both guards, and he just manhandled them. And you have never seen that again. Aaron Donald gets double teamed all the time. Fuck that. Casey Hampton got triple teamed. Never enough credit. Moving on to Hines Ward. Hines Ward is one of 14 people in the history of the league to get 1,000 receptions.
But let's be completely honest. That last reception, and I will remember watching that one, it was for -6 yards, and it was like a forced reception.
So?
I'm just saying. It was
how many others of them?
14. Okay. More or less receptions. Higher or lower? Randy Moss.
Lower.
Well, it's obviously less, so.
I know. Andre Reed.
Less.
Derek Mason.
Less.
Torrey Holt.
Yeah, I know you're just going to keep naming people that are less.
Yeah. Because you know why? Those are all amazing players.
What's his company? Who's in that?
Who's in there?
Who's in the 14 members?
So you got Jerry Rice is above 1,000, obviously. Larry Fitzgerald, Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, Marvin Harrison, Chris Carter, Tim Brown, Terrell Owens, Anquan Bolden, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith Sr., Isaac Bruce, and Hines Ward. Isaac Bruce, Hall of Famer. Hines Ward, not a Hall of Famer. Randy Moss, Hall of Famer. Randy Moss is below Hines Ward. Hines Ward was a great receiver. Also, he didn't have an ACL. Did you know that? He didn't have an ACL.
That's why he can never tear it.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have been able to run, but he did. He shouldn't have been able to run, but he played at an NFL level for a decade? And not only did he finish as one of the few people to get 1,000 receptions, what was he known for? Was he known for catching the ball? No, he was not known for catching the ball. He was known for blocking. And who did he block for? A Hall of Fame running back. A Hall of Fame running back of the bus. He was clearing the way for the bus to Canton, and he didn't get his ticket punched? No, Super Bowl MVP. How many Super Bowl MVPs don't make the Hall of Fame? Probably just him.
A lot more than you think.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot more than I think, but I'm on a rant. So you got a Super Bowl MVP. I forget how many fucking Pro Bowls. 1,000 receptions, and he was known for blocking. You can't write the history of the NFL without naming Hines Ward, and for that, he should be in the Hall of Fame. The fact that he's not a first ballot is a freaking embarrassment and discredits the entire Hall of Fame. He should be a Hall of Famer. There's no receivers that I would put in before him. And just to go down the list a little bit, Randy Moss is below him in the Hall of Fame. Art Monk below him in the Hall of Fame. Steve Largent in the Hall of Fame. Shannon Sharp in the Hall of Fame. Marshall Hurts running back, but he had a lot of receptions. Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin had 250 less receptions than him in the Hall of Fame. And you can say, well, Michael Irvin won Super Bowls. Well, Hines Ward won 2 Super Bowls. What more do you want from a guy to get him into the Hall of Fame?
3 Super Bowls.
Let me add another little bit of what Hines Ward did. Hines Ward mentored, he brought up receivers such as Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. And who fell apart after Hines Ward wasn't in his life? Antonio Brown. He was there for the good times. Okay? Hines Ward created what the wide receiver culture is in Pittsburgh, which is a great wide receiver culture. That's one of the greatest wide receiver rooms consistently. Hines Ward created that. How is Hines Ward? Say how Hines Ward doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
It's not that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
You just said he doesn't belong. You didn't even put him as he couldn't even make your top 2 out of 6 people here.
Because obviously,
where would you rank him in this?
3rd.
Yeah, bullshit. That's just because you don't want me to yell at you more.
No, honestly, yes, his stats are good. He's honestly he's the definition of Steeler football. But my whole thing is that obviously the Hall of Fame don't like him. He's like the Crosby of the NFL.
Well, that's not a reason to keep him out of. He's nowhere near the Crosby. That's not a reason to keep him out. That's not a reason for you to say he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. That's a reason that for some reason they hate him. But Hines Ward, Hall of Fame wide receiver. And he's coaching now. So, I mean, fuck. The dude's a Hall of Famer.
So if Hines Ward goes to the Hall of Fame, you going?
Yes. Because I'm pissed about it. Hines Ward, Hall of Famer, should have been first ballot. It's a national travesty that he is not.
I don't know where to go from there.
Do you want me to keep going about how great Hines Ward? Me. I forget how many Pro Bowls he went to.
No, what do you want to go?
You know what else about Hines Ward?
All right, hold on a second.
What is football? The ultimate team sport. What is Hines Ward? The ultimate team player. How many diva wide receivers do you see? I want the ball. Give it to me. I'm always open. It's all about me. No, he was like, who do you want me to truck over? I'll clear the way for you. And then, somebody gets into a fight. Who's there to break it up? Who's there? Who's always got your team's back? He's always got his teammates back. Hines Ward.
He does have a rule named against him.
He changed the NFL. They had to make a rule to slow him down. When you get a rule named after you, Hall of Fame.
Mel Blunt's in the Hall of Fame.
And there's the Mel Blunt rule. And then they made the Mel Blunt rule because cornerbacks were killing wide receivers so hard. And then Hines Ward came in and started killing defensive backs so hard, they had to make a rule to even it out. Hines Ward changed the game. Hines Ward changed the game. You can't tell the history of the NFL without mentioning Hines Ward. Thank you. You could have got a picture of a better smile, though. Fuck. I mean, that guy's got like 90% just a perfect smile on his face, and you get that.
Well, that was the one that came with the article. It was from the Steelers, so I mean.
Okay. There we go.
This is their picture that they picked.
We gave credit.
It's probably Matt Canada probably put it together.
Yeah, it was probably Matt Canada.
Fucking asshole.
You know who's not a fucking asshole? Hines Ward.
Well, you know what? There's your solution. Bring Hines Ward as our offensive coordinator.
Hines Ward should be our offensive coordinator. He can tell people how to block.
Yeah, he was freaking on the team as like an what was it? Wasn't he like
an intern coach, and then I think he went to your favorite place, Arizona.
No, he went to Detroit or the Jets.
Yeah, okay. He was with the Jets for a little bit.
He was with the Jets when we went to the Jets game, Matt.
Okay. I drank a lot during that game.
Oh, shit.
Not as much as some other people.
And it's not anybody on this show.
Yep.
I wasn't there.
I
was highly missed.
Yeah.
This is a good class of Steelers to get in, though. We should at least get one.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I honestly think we have a shot again, at least two.
I don't think Harrison.
Yeah, I don't think Harrison.
I don't think Harrison can make it. James Ferrier, though, I mean, he really. I don't think he's credited with as much skill that he has, but that's probably one of the best free agent signings we've ever had. It's
Well, he
it's
was the
the
leader of
bus
the defense.
and him, and I mean they're like 1A, 1B because he anchored that defense for a good decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was some number one defenses, and he was right in the middle, putting them all in place, leading that team. Really underrated player. Not as underrated as Hines Ward, apparently, because Hines Ward literally in the top 15, but somehow not in the Hall of Fame. If there's 15 wide receivers in the Hall of Fame, how the hell is he not in? 4-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, should be Hall of Fame wide receiver, Hines Ward.
I think it's safe to say that we're going to see at least 2 players in the Hall of Fame from the Steelers this year.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be James Harrison though.
I mean, we could get lucky. This is a class in itself. So I mean,
yeah, we could just have them all in.
Yeah. Fuck Canton. We're hosting the Hall of Fame at Heinz Field this year. And yes, we're renaming it Heinz Field.
All right. Well, I think we're done talking about this. We got on a long ass tangent.
Yeah, you put one hell of a tangent on the end. I was trying to save that Hines Ward talk for a week. We didn't have anything to talk about. But like I said, Hines Ward, Hall of Famer.
Well, it looks like your background there is glitching out, Matt. But it's a good thing because I think we should just end the show.
Oh, his background must be brought to you by Amazon Prime.
But my terrible tile wave lasts forever.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Rooney Toon Report.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Yeah, see, because all the notifications are you lost. Please update new credit card.
Your credit card has been declined.
And like Seahawks games are like that one time a week where you could just like scream your head off about the rain. That's why it's so loud. They're just like sitting there going, "I'm sick and tired of this rain."
All right. Well, you say that one more time.
Hines Ward, Hall of Fame. You can't stop me, Hines Ward, Hall of Fame. Hines Ward, Hall of Fame.
For 2 hours
So
and 40 minutes.
come on, tell me who wanted to bring up how bad I am at making picks.
It was Dan.
Okay.
Mumford.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty fucking bad, Matt. Like, this is bad.
Oh my god, that was bad. Yeah, that was my worst week ever.